Phoebe, what are we expecting from the meeting?
Well, they've just wrapped up the meeting, so we're going to hear further details soon. But Prime Minister Suga said that he wants to cooperate with the IOC to ensure the success of the Games. Meanwhile, Thomas Bach has called the meeting friendly and very fruitful. And he says that the Tokyo Olympics will be the best prepared Olympics ever. He's called on the Japanese people to really give a warm welcome to the athletes. He's really appealing that the Games are for the athletes, aware that the Japanese public are very much not in favour of the game. They're very much concerned that this could lead to it being a super spreader event. Thomas Bach has run into some trouble. Just yesterday he made an embarrassing mistake referring to the Japanese people as Chinese people, and indeed just trending on Twitter was the hashtag "What will Thomas Bach do next?" So there's a very kind of resentful feeling on the ground here in Japan, particularly as the public are under a fourth state of emergency. Equally, Prime Minister Suga is hoping that the Games are a success. He's banking his political fortunes on the Games going well. His approval rating is near rock bottom. He's hoping to win the leadership contest to further lead his party and the general election scheduled for October, and for that he needs the Olympics to go forward, the Japanese athletes to win a lot of medals. However, there have been a series of misfortunes and difficulties, and just announced in the past couple of days, 4 members of staff from overseas have been accused of drug use, which is further another scandal that the organisers are having to deal with, whilst the Japanese public are afraid of rising coronavirus infections. So it's a very challenging time for everyone concerned.
Now, Phoebe, you just mentioned Tokyo is in its fourth state of emergency, and Japanese people are not really looking forward to the Games. So how's the atmosphere like?
Well, the atmosphere on the ground is not very celebratory when it comes to the general public. Restaurants have to close by 8 p.m. and they're not allowed to serve alcohol. When it comes to the atmosphere in the Olympic Village, it might be fairly the same. Athletes are in a bubble. They're cut off from direct contact. They'll have to wear masks. They'll have to social distance. They'll be tested daily. Anyone who tests positive will be transferred to a fever clinic and then transferred to another facility if they continue to test positive. Athletes can only arrive in Tokyo 5 days before an event, and they have to leave 2 days afterwards. And when it comes to celebrating, there are no group gatherings. They are allowed to drink alcohol, but this will be alone in their rooms. So this is a far cry for the very sort of festive atmosphere the Olympics have come to be. But it will be even stranger when the Games actually kick off. The organisers took a decision to ban spectators. The National Stadium has a capacity of 68,000. Athletes will be competing there to thousands of empty seats. They're going to have to bring their own energy. It's going to be a very different atmosphere and a very different Games, unlike any we've seen before.